You could own the Guzzi on sound alone. This is all about class, character. Lovely cottage there. Back to these lovely old houses. And emotion. Oh, emotion. Well, welcome back to FarmerTorque, and this is interesting. We are back at Total Triumph, and surprise, surprise, because they sell new bikes, they get some trade-ins from time to time, and basically, as and when something interesting comes along, the idea is maybe we have a play with it. So we have this 16 plate V7 Guzzi Sport, and a bit different this one, whereas the supplying dealer gave it this paint job and mimicked the 70s racer. So it's done, what's it done, 1800 miles. It looks in pretty good condition. Never ridden a Guzzi before, so got to be interesting. And I'm fortunate, I've got a friend who's a neighbour, an R1200R owner, Trevor's with us. And so we're going to take along this late Bonneville 14 plate, one of the last air-cooled ones, and we should pick that one out. In theory, it would have been nice to have had a similar era, one of the last air-cooled Thruxtons, which would have been a better comparison. But we're not out to prove which one's better or not or whatever. To be honest, it's going to be great to drive the Thruxton. Nice to have a go on the Triumph again. Let's get out on the road and see what it's like. All right. Well, Trevor's off, am I? No, I'm not. Hospital pass, Trevor. First impressions are it's going to be easier than I thought to comment on this bike, because it feels quite nice. I thought it was going to be, when I started it and initially pulled away, I thought, ooh, this is going to be a farmer review, this is a tractor. But, just flip the throttle down a gear there. Yeah, Trevor's having fun. Whoa! Now what have we got? We've got about 5 horsepower and 2 torques. Well, I think it's in the 50s. I'll check it out. But this is not a powerful motorbike. But it's quite a torquey bike. And turns in nicely. Quite, I don't know, it's not soft ride. Compliant ride, that's the word we'll use. Let's learn how to ride this thing. So I'm following an air-cooled Bonneville, which has probably got a power advantage. There we go. Yeah, the Bonnie looks pretty good. So V7 Sport, made to look like a 70s racer, I think. 70, 71 was it? And so the paint job, which I really like, it's vibrant. And yeah, where was I going? Nice ride. I was going to say the dash is really interesting. It's strangely refreshing. It's sort of properly classic. This feels like a retro bike that works, if you see what I mean. Some lovely villages out here. Some very well kept homes as well, have I say. And 2 rather nice motorcycles. Oh, look at this. hearing the other bike. I'm just hearing the Triumph there accelerate away. And then this chimes in. It's nicely damped. You think it's going to be harsher, but it isn't. Hearing that Triumph again. And then this. Whoa! Well, this is different. I take it back. The Guzzi is really agricultural. Does sound good. This? Gosh, what a sweet little engine. Mind you, straight away feel like I want 7th, 8th gear. Because I forget these were 5-speed. Mind you, it does ride quite nicely. It's quite soft, quite comfy. Very sweet engine. Yes. This is a good bike. I'm surprised. Actually, I'm surprised how nice it feels. Oh, I debate which one's quicker. Well, I've been assaulted with the Guzzi, and yes, okay, it's agricultural. For me, acceptably agricultural, but this, I'm actually surprised how sweet. I haven't ridden one of these engines for ages, and it's really sweet and just really, yeah, a bit of a bark. I can imagine a lot of people liking this. I was expecting to be rude about this. Sorry, Triumph 865 owners, but I'm going to be a lot nicer than I thought. But nice is the word. This is interesting chat. And the nice bit about this sort of chat is if you can be open-minded about the thing and not be horribly Triumph biased or Guzzi biased or whatever, and just chat about the bikes, there's pluses and minuses big time on both, and they will appeal to different people. But at the moment, bundling along on this, it's not a quick bike, but it's adequate. It travels along the road nicely. It's surprisingly comfortable. It's got aftermarket shocks on the back, and it may have had something done on the front for all I know. I'll see if I can find out. So here are our rather lovely pair. Lovely pair, sir. Now this isn't a twin test. This is because we can't really compare this late Bonneville because it's not a cafe racer, etc. But you sort of can, and a Thruxton of the time would be a similar bike, I mean more stylish, so the looks, we are being a bit unfair. Anyway, I don't want to get away from that, but this Triumph, yeah, looks good. I've done a lot of miles on a scrambler of the time. This is 14, I think I had a 15 plate one, and there's scope, and with one they are much loved, so if I started saying, oh, not sure I like this, then I'd probably be lynched. Huge worldwide following, and it's a Bonneville, so not many more evocative names than that. How can I say delicately, as standard, the engine, suspension and brakes all had scope for improvement, but there's up-teen aftermarket tuners that can work wonders with this. So the scope for customization, etc., is huge. And if you want to, you can turn it into a really nice handling, nice sounding, jolly nice bike of the thing. So let's move on to this little puppy. And I knew, as I keep saying, nothing about these, and I deliberately, but I'm already fairly smitten. And why am I smitten? Because it's far from the best bike I've ever ridden. However, and this is going to be tricky, when we start talking about character, where do you start, where do you stop? Under normal circumstances, moving over, I would say this has tons of character. And it does, right up until I do this. And this thing is just delightful. I quite like the colour, but that's subjective. It just works with the red frame, and it is apparent. I'm not the most knowledgeable, but I'm told this is a recreation, image-wise, of a 70s racer, so why not? But it goes way further than that, and let's have a look. So, charismatic engine, V sitting there, just throbbing away, and it's I wouldn't say it's smooth. It's quite smooth. Yet it can rumble and cough and splutter, but it's got something about it. And then we come down to these rear sets, which are just works of art and really nice. And good old Zard, we just quite like those cans, and they sound. Oh, the sound is from the heavens. This, yeah, this bike sounds gorgeous. Piggyback shots that they proudly say are made in Italy. Yeah, I just like the look of it. And these bars and cockpit, look, they're classic and retro, but they're sort of proper. And to my surprise, I quite like these bars. I'm not so keen on the mirrors, but in fact, I definitely know this one's loose, but we'll work on that. But yeah, overall, I'm surprised. In fact, I'm nearly going to say taken aback, which is very worrying. Right, let's play a little game that this is so unfair. And the game is, which one would I have? Both these are for sale at Total at the moment. And they're similar price, so six and a half grand of your English pounds. So which one to have? I'm going to straight away imagine that's a Thruxton on the right, so a 14, 15 plate Thruxton. And I'm also going to imagine there's potential for modifying as a big lorry goes by, a bit of modifying, etc., etc., etc. And it can be whatever colour you want. Then I come on to the Guzzi, and do you know what? I sort of I can't believe I'm saying this. I don't want to modify it, really. I might. But my initial, I've only ridden it 10 minutes, but Well, I don't have to say anything really, do I? This is an utterly gorgeous bike. It's awful. It is desperately awful, and I can imagine many throwing bricks at the screen at the moment as they watch this, but and oh, of course it'll break down. Well, it hasn't broken down yet, and we've come all of 8-9 miles. I think that's impressive. And it's not leaking oil. In fact, it all looks very clean indeed. So there you are. Farmer's survey of Guzzi reliability proves they are one of the most reliable bikes on the market.
This is the first Guzzi I've ridden. I don't want it to be the last. I'm intrigued. This is a 3-year-old one. I'd love to ride a new one and see where they're at now. Have they dialed the character out, or have they made them better? Have they... Would I buy this one at 6.5? You might get a bit of a deal. Might I? It's quite a lot of motorbike for 6.5, isn't it? 6 grand. Or what else should I say? Quite a lot of class for 6 grand. I do like this colour. Well, that was an interesting little ride. I look forward to riding my next Guzzi. FarmerTorque, thanks for having a look. Been a load of fun, this one. See you soon with more vids.
Been here before, when we lost control of every little thing that we could have been. We let it all go. Been here before, when I wanted more, always looking for a little madness. Where did it go? We've been here before, when we lost it all.
All you need to know is it's a lovely noise. It costs about £6,500. Where do you sign? Oh, and it looks pretty cool too.